Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good, great actually. I've got my supper already. I get tired in the evenings. I don't feel like cooking, so I made a salad and a hot dish to go with it or a hot dish and a salad to go with it. Yeah. I was going to take my laptop out in another room like the living room or whatever another time maybe. This gas stove, our furnace, you can hear the fan running and it's been so cold it just doesn't stop, and so it's too noisy. Excuse me, so I don't really have a choice with the way things are right now, so forgive them please. you know oh, I have had a very strange morning. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Some about it. I can't really say too much about some personal issues and stuff that I'll just say I feel like people are jacking me around and trying to manipulate me and um not talking to me when I need to hear the truth out of people about different things. It's like in my personal life, it's like I've had enough of it. But I was thinking about my medical writings over on morgellons.org that got plagiarized. Um, a lot of my information that I've put out here, um, and then they'll put like a big flashy picture on it or something and act like it was something they came up with. Or if they have a PhD, they steal my stuff and say they invented it. And Doug's like, well, at least it's getting out there. And I said, no, dude, I said, that's just like you. Right now, he's working on a car, building a Studebaker. I said, I'm just gonna like take pictures of that when you're done and tell everybody that that's my work, you know? Oh, I wouldn't care. That's a lie. That's a damn lie. People do care when they have work done. You give credit where credit's due. And if people can't do that, they're not worth my time. I told somebody today, this is my golden years. You know, I do deserve to have that treated as such. And even if, which I never have been anything but loving, but even if I weren't, I still deserve a good life for me that I've lived, regardless of the viewpoints of other people. So it's like, yeah, because people are um, overlooking what I know as fact, you know, my life. Who knows my life better than me, right? So, yeah, maybe somebody that would benefit out of getting me to think another way than I normally would, you know? What would somebody benefit by changing my mind about a certain subject or whatever, you know? You probably won't. It's just like religion in my life. I was never ignorant of the fact, and I've said this before, whether people want to believe it or not, but paganism, Christian, Judaism, Muslim, all your major religions are connected and they're all satanic. If what you call satanic is ritualistic, and even the God of the Bible, the murderous, incestuous freak that he you know, is not the God that created you or I out of love. So it's a whole different thing. But there are three energies to um, either derive from or work to combining them together in yourself as a whole person. That's the Trinity within us. And if each part isn't respected as such, it's counterintuitive, you know, so, or counterproductive. Yeah. It's not really like a big puzzle or something big, something for to figure out. We know there's energies out there that aren't ours that we derive things from. And whether people give credit where credit is due, that's entirely on them. But there's nothing I've heard for a very long time, unless it's ancient Greek, which I'm just barely learning. Like I can recognize a few words and learning how the language, which is really elaborate, how it is put together. And it's like last night, Lady Babylon had he's been talking a lot about music and, of course, medicine and the term Christ being a drug, the same as, oh, there's so many references in like Gaylord, Gaylords, yeah. I have to calm down. I had kind of an upset, but I'm trying not to let it bother me. So I'm a little bit out there right now. Um, Gayland. I almost said Gaylord, but Galen, his medical writings and stuff. There's so much you can learn in there, you know, for that time period and what the language was when it was written, like in scriptures and whatnot. What were these people talking about? How did they use the words in their society and that type of thing? So, but anyway, it's just as elaborate, if not more so. Well, I would say on the same scale as learning to read music. I would say that learning Greek is maybe more difficult. Maybe. That's a toss up because music is no simple feat to master, you know. So I did learn to read music. Um I learned we uh we had voice lessons, we had um stage lessons, acting, all kinds of not just simple things, in languages and different things in my education, the arts, dance, all kinds of martial arts, all kinds of things to make us well-rounded human beings. What is that? It's like a science thing, a science show, didn't they say? The more you know, or was that Sesame Street? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a little upsetting. It's not so much that people would overlook my hard work. It's just I'm not even treated like a person, for God's sakes, it's like, or for Christ's sake, whichever, or for Satan's sake. And who's who in the zoo? So I think that's what everybody wants to know. Who's who? Well, I can tell you what's up with 15 years from now. There's a thing called the Phoenix Cycle. I'll share Jason from Archaic's video today. He's doing a live video on 30 years of work, a chronology. It's like um, Lady Babylon has 30 years of linguistic knowledge plus medical knowledge and just some phenomenal minds putting these important things together for us. But what Jason's doing is showing everybody what the elites know, by taking all those supplies and stuff underground and all their bunkers and cities and everything under there, and why there's been people that lived below ground before, because there's a phoenix phenomenon that causes catastrophes on the earth every 138 years. And there's been, I think, only one other time in history that the phoenix or Nibiru and the dark star both acted within 6 years of each other and caused total destruction. And that's what's going to be 2040 or 2042. I think it's 2040. Or wait, no. I don't know. Forgive me. Like I say, I'm half there today, or half here, or half not here. One of the two. But yeah. But it's serious. It's an actual time clock in this environment that we live on. Just, the sky. And it's a real thing. And he's been trying to tell people, not so to cause you fear, to let you know what's going on. So if you are here, you might survive. You don't want to be disabled by this thing living in a city when all the power shuts off. There's no water, there's no facilities, and then people start going and ravaging stuff and whatnot. You need to understand and be prepared what the Dark Cabal knows that they don't want the public to know. That's exactly what it is. So I thought I'd talk a little bit on that today. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know about it in a big way, but I don't know the um, data information that Jason knows. It's just like over in and you. I know what those Greek scriptures say, not every word, word for word. I know the pertaining information to what needed to be known for these times for myself from the Blue Lodge. So, you know, um, to me, right now in my life, aside from having a nice day, just about everything else is irrelevant, you know. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world, but I just want to have a good day for once. Girls just want to have fun. Well, I'm way past that, right? It's about time. Mm. I've had some fun, but I would never go back for that. Like some people would go back to their childhood. Are you out of your mind? You couldn't pay me. There's not enough money on this earth for me to go through that again. Not even close. I don't know why people think like that. And then they're like, no matter how old you are, you're still, you know, like, oh, that this meme that bugs me, that when people, women, older women, refer to themselves as queen agers. It's you know what I'm saying. It's just disturbing. Stupid people, you know. I don't want to be a queen ager. I'm a grandmother. I'm glad I am a grandmother some days. Not because of my age, because of the kids. Excuse me. We live in times where people aren't very conscientious towards other people, and it's something I excel in. So, yeah, I do. And I notice everything, and I hear and feel things that you might not think I know. you know, that's when you can't be lied to, and I ask somebody some questions. I need some answers to these questions in order for us to continue um, talking to each other. I mean, if you're getting personal with somebody, somebody's like in my life, I have a right to know who's in my life, you know, and whether or not I want them to have a place in it. And if they want to throw me away first, go ahead, you know. It's not like who's gonna do what to who first, and um like that's going to ruin my entire life. Whenever somebody does something like that to me, I move on, because I expect it. It's the only way the dark force and the small minded people that cannot and do not have my abilities can get to me. They think they're going to stop me or change me or whatever it is, but they can't and they won't. And yeah, I'm sure it bothers you, but you're either going to have to grow and understand that it's a fact of life, that I actually do have some abilities that other people may not. Well, I'm just telling you, you don't, you know. So if you think you want to take that out on me and that is free, um, what you put into the ether is it's going to come back to you, because I reversed all the dark force onto itself. So the pain you try to inflict on me will come to you. And that's a fact, because I'm more powerful. And you hate me if you want. And if you think I'm arrogant, that's okay too. Somebody's got to do it. I'm not giving up. I'm not going to water myself down or lower my intelligence for somebody that has not and does not work as hard as I do, and then wants to take my seat, my throne. Not happening. If you have a throne, if you built your empire and you can sit on that and look at the things you've done and say, hey, I developed that, I envisioned that, I put that there for people and nobody else did. If you can actually and honestly say that in your life about anything you've done, you're not going to give it over to somebody else for their claim, you know. And you're certainly not going to pretend that you didn't do that, you know? I mean, when I talk about the superbugs and the nanoparticles and the different frequencies and mechanisms and poisonings and all kinds of things that people need to understand your DNA, um, soul connections with people, and everything that's written on your soul like a tattoo, and how these things all work together. Even the music you listen to can affect your molecules. Of course, we know that. Think of it on a bigger scale that you're a molecule and God is treating you like a bacterium if you're not a nice person. That's what the Phoenix is all about. That's revelation when men's hearts will fail them out of fear, you know. And I think I'm encountering some of that. So, I mean, there's people I know they're afraid, and they should be, but, it's that old repent thing, like turn back away from, not, it doesn't say wicked ways. Repent means to turn away from what you're doing. It doesn't say anything about any sins, you know, in that passage, by the way. It just means to stop what you're doing or to go in the other direction, basically, but you got these uneducated people that will tell you that it's something different, that it's a sin. You're repenting from your sins. That's not what it says. It just means to go back. Anyway, that's one thing I'm really big on is making sure people know. It's just like any parent, there is no God that wants you to grovel. It'd be like um, making your kid beg, you know, for any love or food or clothing, or, if you're poor, that's one thing. And if it's like a single parent home, yeah, you're going to have some issues. But um, in this world, some people honor that. I know many men that were raised by their mothers that have a huge respect for that woman because they saw how hard she worked to try and keep their lives together. Sometimes that's acknowledged. And there's men. I know right now, like I sub to a channel. He raised two daughters basically by himself. So yeah, and I know another dad that raised his son by himself. And so yeah, I know a woman that left her children, period. And another one that gave her away. Actually sold it. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much what's going on around here. Out there, there's people that have worked decades on what you do well, and it could be various things that all fit together, or maybe one thing in particular that's your specialty and that's a needed thing. But um, you know, when you develop something like on your YouTube channel and you put that out there for the world, you wouldn't want anybody else as claimant. They'd come in and say, "Oh, that's my work," you know. Now it'd be different if two people collaborated and they put things together for everybody out there, you know, or even separately working together. There's groups of people that work together well. There's some people don't work well with others at all, you know. So, ooh, I saw something really cool on my Roku TV setup. I just got started again. They have for people if you are interested. They have guitar lessons on their free app where you can teach yourself how to play. Like the first guitar I had was just a little tiny, it was called a harmony melody, a folk guitar, just a little tiny guitar for a kid. And I went and took some lessons at a place called Smith Music, same place where I bought my flute when I was 9. But then I got the lessons for a birthday gift, only so many, and then I started taking more of them. I had to take a bus out of the city, but that was cool. I was a teenager, or 12, 13, something like that. To be able to get on the bus and go to my guitar lesson was pretty cool. And then I was learning the recent rock and roll songs, like a lot of Cat Stevens stuff, a lot of let's see, what was it? Oh, there was like Bob Dylan, but I was thinking of somebody else back in the day. There was like some really, really cool guitar music for beginners. Um, hmm, and then I can't remember it. Well, Creedence Clearwater Revival. Most of their songs are pretty easy. Um, I don't know, there was so much good rock and roll. It was just cool to be able to learn how to play some of it, and actually participate in a band on a stage. So we were the outlaws, the country outlaws. We played like country rock, kind of some of each and a mixture of like Marshall Tucker stuff and Creedence stuff and you know Waylon Jennings, that type of all kinds of good music. But yeah, I wish I could remember whatever I was thinking. On my flute, I was playing stuff like Simon and Garfunkel tunes, where like Sound of Silence and Bridge Over Troubled Water. That's good on the guitar too. That's a really pretty song. But yeah, it's pretty easy to learn. If anybody's ever around, I actually could teach you one chord and you could learn how to sing so many songs just with one chord harmonizing with your voice, like C or G, something like that. And, you know, or one note, and learn how to strum for the rhythm, the timing of the whole thing. But yeah. And then if you learn two, you can really there's hundreds of songs just for like two chords, you know, for rhythm guitar. And then if you really want to learn the melodies of the songs and read the notes and the chords and what they mean, you can go deeper in how to place your fingers on the frets for notes and bar chords and finger picking and, you know, yada yada, on and on. You know, so yeah. But I can't teach people if they're not willing to learn. Or this is even moreover. I can't teach somebody when they think they know it all. You know, but if you meet somebody else and you know they're on the same wavelength, then you can kind of communicate in a different way, in a higher level than a lot of people can. Like you meet somebody and you're having a conversation with them in the ether while everybody else and you are talking, and the two of you are able to have a whole nother conversation during the whole thing, um, or even deeper, maybe more people involved. But you know what I'm saying and where I'm coming from. It's a real thing. That's what I love. I love somebody that can think big enough to be there, you know? So, well, I'm going to get this uploaded. I appreciate you being here. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.